Hey there, it's Audrey Godwin with episode 3 of Audrey's Adjustments. And today I don't know if it's going to be more of an adjustment or just sort of some musings on a quote I heard this morning. So, early in the morning, when I get up in the morning, I spend some time just being quiet. Like I wasn't originally created to be a morning person, but when I had my first son, my first child, who's a son, he was very much a morning person. So part of my getting up and gathering my senses together is just spending some quiet time, just really pulling my thoughts together, reading a couple of things, some for just a spiritual practice and some for inspiration. And I was listening to an IG story that Chandler Moore did, which I thought was very well done. And in the midst of his video, he said this quote that what we behold, we become. And so yesterday we chatted about, or at least part of the adjustment of the episode was about who we are being, our state of being, and who we are becoming informs our behaviors. So let's think about this premise. So if who I am being right now, my state of being, whether I'm at peace or I'm in chaos or I'm stressed or I'm happy or I'm hungry or I'm excited or I'm just calm and chill, that's my state of being. That's who I am today. And who I'm becoming is influenced by what I read, and what I listen to and who I hang around and the environments that I'm in and what I believe and what I value, right? So if I am beholding, right? So behold is one of those words that you don't necessarily hear too often, but what I wanted to do was read a definition of the word behold. So the word behold is to observe, to look at, or to see, right? And similar words are to consider and to contemplate. And so if we think about, so it goes back to, am I thinking about what I think about? And I don't mean we have to go into analysis paralysis and that we have to like every moment of the day be so conscious of what we're thinking. But I think it is important as we navigate our daily tasks and pressures and navigate work and personal life and friends and family and self-care and all of the myriad things that goes into our walking the planet and being on the earth, so to speak, is what do I listen to? Am I listening to music that soothes me? Am I listening to music that inspires me? I know that there's a song when I'm really feeling like I need to get pumping and really get moving. It's the song Level Up by Sierra, because I'm like, yep, I need to get moving. I need to move forward and get excited about, and sometimes I do that when I have the most mundane of tasks, like, doing laundry or, putting up together spreadsheets or, filing papers, just really mundane tasks. What I listen to get me inspired and pumped up to get through whatever that task is what I'm beholding in that moment. If I think about what I read, right? If I am always on social media and scanning, and I'm not saying that we need to be disconnected because we're already disconnected enough because we are in an age of information and digital content and digital news. So we are already at a level that we're disconnected, but to be mindful of, how many terrible news articles, like bad news articles, am I going to read in a day? And if I'm going to read, negative things are more likely to stick with us than the more inspiring, happy things. So, and there's kind of this ratio, like if I'm going to read something that is really devastating to my soul, like, what's happening in our society with, our Black brothers and sisters that are completely under a level of oppression and being murdered and, systematic and systemic racism. If I absorb that all day, I would probably be laying on the floor, and not really able to function, because that's a lot of very hard and traumatic things. And so if I'm going to read that, then I'm going to spend some time, get quiet, disconnect, listen to some music that is going to be uplifting, maybe sit and say a prayer for those people that are suffering, so that I can mourn when they mourn and weep when they weep. And then when they get to a place of rejoicing, I can rejoice with them. But pray about that. And then read something that is going to be uplifting, that is going to nourish my soul in a way that it fills up my cup. Because when we listen to, or read, or engage in negative environments, it literally depletes. It's constantly taking out of our cup. And so when we think about, I become what I behold, if I am always reading things that are nerve-wracking, then I am going to be more anxious. It is what our body is going to respond to, because that's what we're feeding it. And it requires us to take a moment to pause, like even if it's a pregnant pause, to really decide, what am I going to become? Am I going to become this nervous, anxious, frazzled mess where now I can't really think, or I'm snapping at my kids, or I'm snapping at my, life partner, or I'm, like yelling at the dog? Or am I really going to be conscious of what's sitting in my body, do what I need to release it, whether it's walking, whether it's singing, whether it's dancing, whether it's listening, praying, all of those things. I want you to think about those things. So when we're thinking about becoming what we behold, then it becomes one of those things, at least for me, and some of the most challenging times of my life was, how am I going to get to the end of the day? How do I want to feel by the end of the day? And at midday, I'm feeling tired and I know that I can't grab caffeine. Then do I walk? Do I eat something that's nourishing? Do I just take a mental break, like take a 20-minute nap, take a mental break, read something that's funny, watch some silly cat video, look at a couple of crazy memes that's going to get me in a state of mind that allows me to end my day in a place where I can literally enjoy my family. I can enjoy, the dog. I can eat a good meal and then sleep restfully. So if we're looking at this idea of who I am being, it really is on the road to who I am becoming, that informs my behaviors, then I want to make sure I'm paying attention to what I behold. Right? So what am I reading? Am I reading things that are saying that we're going to another recession, and now we're going to figure out how to recession-proof our business and recession-proof our household? What if, instead of worrying about how to recession-proof something, it's how do you set yourself up in such a way that you can navigate these instances of downturns or sideways glances in life, so that we don't have to be recession proof, right? That's just one more layer we have to put on top. What if, instead of looking at what the markets are doing, if we don't understand it, then let's talk to somebody who has some expertise in the stock market and ask the questions that we need to ask, so that we can move forward in an informed way, and then make sure that information and the actions we're going to take are really aligned with what do we really need to get done for ourselves and for our family, whether it's right now or it's 2 months in the future or 6 months in the future, right? The other thing that I'll share is there's a young woman that I totally love and respect, and she put up this post today and she says, it's September 3rd. That means like it's Christmas. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it doesn't really send me into a tizzy. It made me laugh. And then I thought, but you know what? There are a lot of people who think right now that they need to start getting ready for Christmas. And so it becomes this idea that if that's important to you, then what are the things that you're going to do financially so that you can become more frugal and be wise with those funds, so that Christmas doesn't become this 2020 COVID-19, whatever else is going on, nightmare. It becomes something that is really special and that is really sacred and holy to you and your family, because you were very intentional to think about those things that are affecting your being. So, what are we going to do today? What's our adjustment for today? Be aware of what you behold. Be aware of what you're thinking. Be aware of what you're reading. Be aware of what you're listening to. Be aware of the people that you're around. So don't engage in gossip or bad mouthing. Or if you feel like you just need to remove yourself, then remove yourself. And you don't have to make up excuses. It's just like, I just need to go. Be aware of the environments that you're in and remove yourself if you need to, or participate in a different way, navigate differently. So I'll just leave you with this. If we are going to be on the journey to having a whole soul, where our state of being today adjusts just a little so we can navigate and go walk into our becoming, then make sure you're clearly aware of what you behold on a physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, social, and creative level. We'll see you tomorrow. Ta-ta.